And we're all set.
Good afternoon. Still morning. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. It's approximately 11:30 a.m. This is an adjudicatory hearing before the Massachusetts Gaming Commission relative to the suitability of David Adelman as individual qualifier to MGM Resorts International, MGM, which is the parent company of the Region B gaming licensee Blue Tarp Redevelopment, LLC, also known as MGM Springfield. My name is Jordan Maynard, and I'm the interim chair of the commission. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Commissioners Eileen O'Brien, Brad Hill, and Nikisha Skinner. The entire commission preside over this hearing and decision of this matter. This hearing will be conducted in accordance with 205 CMR 101.01, the informal fair hearing rules outlined in 801 CMR 1.02 and Chapter 30A of the General Laws. I would like to notify everyone that this proceeding is being recorded. A notice of hearing dated May 21st, 2024 was issued to the parties. The notice identifies the issues that this hearing is intended to address. Specifically, the Commission will focus its review on whether the facts presented constitute clear and convincing evidence that the suitability standards set out in General Laws, Chapter 23K, Sections 12 and 16, and 205 CMR 115.01, subsection 1 have been met. There are two parties before us today, and each are represented by legal counsel. I will ask that Ms. Franks and then Mr. Nozel, please identify yourself and your teams and advise the commission as to whom everyone represents as applicable. Let's start with Ms. Franks. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. Deandra Franks on behalf of the IEB. Also present today for the IEB is Director Caitlin Monahan, Interim Chief Enforcement Counsel, Assistant Director, and Senior Enforcement Counsel Kathleen Kramer, Sergeant David Collette of the Massachusetts State Police, Trooper Odom Eng of the Massachusetts State Police, Financial Investigations Chief Monica Chang, and Financial Investigator Rawan Al-Saeed.
Thank you, Ms. Franks. Mr. Nozel.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the Commission. Jed Nozel. I'm representing David Adelman this morning in his capacity as a qualifier for MGM Resorts International. Also joining us this morning is Gus Kim, who is Vice President and Legal Counsel for MGM Resorts International, the Northeast Division.
Thank you, Mr. Nozel, and thank you all for joining us. At the conclusion of my opening comments, this proceeding will commence with opening remarks. Each party will be offered an opportunity to make a statement, though it's not required. After opening statements, we will move to the presentation of the evidence in this matter. The IEB will be called upon to present its findings as described in the investigation report. Any commissioner may ask a question of anyone presenting information at any point during or following the presentation. At the conclusion of the IEB's presentation, Mr. Adelman, through counsel, will be afforded an opportunity to ask questions of any individual who presented information on behalf of the IEB relative to any matter addressed in the investigation report or to which they spoke. At the conclusion of the IEB's presentation, Mr. Adelman will be given the same opportunity to make a presentation. He may call any witnesses and present any evidence he desires. The Commission has directed in the notice of hearing that at minimum, Mr. Adelman be available if called upon to testify at this hearing. I will note for the record he is here. Additionally, the Commission may require any of the IEB investigators to testify as to their findings. Either party may raise any objection it desires at any time. However, the basis for all objections must be clearly stated. Finally, at the conclusion of the presentations of all the evidence, the IEB and Mr. Adelman will be provided an opportunity to make closing remarks summing up their views of the evidence. Again, this is optional. Before we begin, I understand there are two exhibits for consideration at this hearing that have been exchanged by the parties in advance. Those exhibits are as follows. Exhibit 1 will be the notice of hearing dated May 21st, 2024. Exhibit 2 will be the IEB's investigation report dated June 20th, 2024. Are there any objections to any of these exhibits being marked and entered into evidence?
No objection from the IEB.
Thank you. Councilor Nozzle.
Sorry, Chair, none for Mr. Adelman either. No objections.
Thank you. Those exhibits shall be admitted to evidence. If either party would like to have any additional documents entered into evidence during the course of the hearing, please ensure that they are properly introduced and marked for the record. The Commission anticipates that its inquiry at this proceeding will be related to the matters addressed in the investigation report and contained in the notice of hearing. If a line of questioning conducted by the Commission moves into an area that's been included in the report, that has not been included in the report or notice, but that is material to the final determination of this matter, any party may request a recess in the proceeding to review the issue. The Commission will deliberate privately and make a final decision at the conclusion of the evidentiary portion of the hearing. The decision will be issued as promptly as possible. We will now swear in all the witnesses. We will now swear in all the witnesses in. Council, are all the individuals you anticipate presenting testimony in this matter present on this call?
Yes.
Councilor
Yes. Yes.
If there is anyone who is not present who will later testify, it's up to you to alert the Commission that they have yet to be placed under oath. Anyone who will be testifying at this proceeding, please raise your right hand at this time. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will provide before the Commission at this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. You all have responded in the affirmative, and I checked by clicking through the boxes. Given the nature of the suitability review, there is necessarily a significant amount of personal and commercially sensitive information that the Commission is being called upon to consider. The public discussion of such information may result in an unwarranted invasion of an individual's personal privacy or may place an entity at a competitive disadvantage if such information were to be publicly disclosed. For the Commission to be able to effectively and diligently execute its legal obligations prior to making a suitability finding, it must be at liberty to fully inquire relative to any of these sensitive matters without compromising the individuals or entities involved. To do otherwise would be, at a minimum, unfair and potentially unlawful. Accordingly, my colleagues and I may elect to exercise the discretion afforded in accordance with 205 CMR 101.01, paragraph 7, to close this proceeding to the public to fully address certain matters. Before we begin, it is my understanding that a pre-hearing conference was conducted with representatives of the applicant, the IEB, and our legal department, at which procedural and evidentiary issues were discussed. Do either of the parties have any preliminary issues or objections they would like to raise?
The only preliminary matter on behalf of the IEB is I'd just like to confirm that Attorney Nozzle is stipulating to the IEB report.
Thank you, Chair. We've had an opportunity to review the report, and on behalf of Mr. Adelman, we will stipulate to the report for purposes of today's hearing. And Chair, I just had one other housekeeping matter, just in anticipation of any inquiry or even sort of presentation on something I'll just call the 2017 matter, that be done in executive confidential session.
Thank you, Attorney Nozzle. So I will first be clear that you did stipulate to the investigation report marked as Exhibit 2. With that, and I understand your request, with that, I ask Council to please proceed with any opening remarks he would like to make on behalf of Mr. Adelman.
Thank you, Chair. I'll be brief. We thank the Commission for its time this morning. We thank the Investigations and Enforcement Bureau and legal team for its comprehensive report that's being presented here today. We look forward to participating in this matter, and I'm accompanied, of course, by Mr. Adelman, who will introduce himself at the appropriate time and will be open and available for any questions that the Commission may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Nozel. Ms. Franks?
I don't have any opening remarks and I'm comfortable moving right into the presentation. I'd first like to start out by thanking Financial Investigations Chief Monica Chang, Financial Investigator Rawan Al-Said, Sergeant David Collette, and Trooper Odom Ang for their work on this investigation. Mr. Adelman is a qualifier for Blue Tarp Redevelopment LLC, doing business as MGM Springfield. Mr. Adelman submitted all of the required forms and complied with all of the IEB's requests for supplemental and updated information during the investigation. The IEB also interviewed Mr. Adelman, and he has been cooperative and forthcoming throughout the entire process. In keeping with the IEB's established protocols for background reviews of casino qualifiers, we verified identity, confirmed financial stability and integrity, reviewed litigation history, searched criminal history, verified that no prohibited political contributions were made in Massachusetts, and conducted checks of open source and law enforcement databases. In July of 2023, Mr. Adelman was promoted by MGM Resorts International and currently holds the position of Vice President of Information Technology Regional Operations. MGM Resorts International is the parent company of the Category 1 licensee, Blue Tarp Redevelopment LLC, which operates the MGM Springfield Casino. Mr. Adelman reports directly to MGM Chief Technology Officer Brandon Newman. As Vice President of IT Regional Operations, Mr. Adelman oversees the IT teams at 7 MGM properties outside of Las Vegas. Mr. Adelman has previous experience working in the gaming industry. His gaming career began when he worked for Amtote International as a level 1 technician at the Thistledown racetrack. He then worked for Hard Rock's Information Technology Division and ultimately became the Director of IT. In 2019, Hard Rock was bought by MGM, and MGM kept Mr. Adelman as the Director of IT. Throughout his years with the company, his duties and responsibilities grew, and he ultimately became Vice President of IT Regional Operations in July of 2023. Mr. Adelman disclosed in his application that he has been found suitable and currently holds gaming licenses in Maryland, Michigan, Mississippi, New Jersey, New York, and Ohio. The investigation confirmed Mr. Adelman's gaming licenses are in good standing and no derogatory information was reported by any jurisdiction. The investigation did not uncover any derogatory information that would indicate that Mr. Adelman lacks the requisite financial stability, integrity, and background to be deemed suitable in accordance with the criteria listed in the Massachusetts gaming law and regulations. The IEB recommends the Commission issue a positive determination of suitability. This concludes the prepared remarks that I have for the Commission, and of course, members of the team are available for any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Franks. Do any of the commissioners have any questions for Ms. Franks or other members of the IEB relative to the presentation? Does Mr. Adelman have any questions for Ms. Franks or other members of the IEB relative to the presentation? Councilor Nozel.
I do not. Oh, sorry.
Thanks, Chair. We don't, Chair. Thanks.
We will now turn to the presentation by Mr. Adelman. Councilor, please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Again, we have a very comprehensive report regarding the background investigation that was done in this particular case. Mr. Adelman is here to introduce himself and respond to any additional questions that the Commission may have in connection with its review of this matter. So with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Adelman to say hello to the Commission.
Good morning, Mr. Adelman.
Good morning. My name is Dave Adelman. I just like to thank everybody for their time, and I appreciate everybody's assistance in this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Adelman. Do any commissioners have any questions for any of the presenters relative to the presentation, or are there any other individuals we would hear from?
So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to get some information about the 2017 matter in executive session if I could. But then I also have a comment. Good morning, Mr. Adelman. I wanted to congratulate you on your promotion. I know it's been just about a year or coming up on a year, and your self-training is really impressive. And so I just wanted to give a nod to you for that. Very nice career path. I think.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Commissioner Skinner, I hear that request. What we'll do is I want to make sure that the IEB doesn't have any questions at this time for Mr. Adelman.
We do not. We do not.
All right. So commissioners, do we have any further questions before we explore that question from Commissioner Skinner that would be best had in a closed proceeding? Seeing none. All right. So let's move over to, there's an 11, or is it an 11:30 link?
12:30, Mr.
12:30
Chair.
link. All right, let's move into that link and we will discuss those matters and be back into this session. Thank you. After.
Do we stay in here or do we go?
There should be another link that is either been sent over to you, Dave, or that would be sent over to you with that has a link to the executive session room you can jump into.
Okay, let me see if I can. I've got like 3 different links.
Yeah, it should be one that's set up from Thomas Mills at 11:30.
Got it.
Nope, sorry,
Yep.
it'd be the 12:30.
Okay.
Oh,
So I can
excuse me,
delete this.
12:30.
The 12:30 link.
The time's all turning me around.
Wait, hang on. I've got the meeting I've got from Thomas Mills. Yeah, it's a 12:30 link. Is that
That
the
one
right
should be
one?
the right one.
Okay, so I leave this meeting and join that one?
Yep, and then when that has concluded, you jump back into this one.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you bearing with us.
Give everyone a second to enter back in. Councilor Franks, do we have everyone on for the IEB?
Yes, we do.
And Councilor Nozel, are we good?
We're all set. Thanks, Chair.
All right, we just finished a closed discussion. We're entering back into this one, continuing it. Now that we've heard all the evidence in this matter, well, let me first ask this. Commissioners, do we have any further questions? Okay. Now that we've heard all the evidence in this matter, before we move to closing remarks, we'll actually now turn to closing remarks. Each party will be afforded an opportunity to make a statement summing up their position, though they need not do so. Would Mr. Adelman like to proceed with any remarks? Councilor Nozel.
Thanks, Chair, members of the Commission. Again, to thank you for your time today. And again, going back to the work that the IEB and legal team have done on providing the Commission with a very comprehensive and complete report. We believe that report provides clear and convincing evidence of Mr. Adelman's suitability, and we request that the Commission proceed and find him suitable for licensure in Massachusetts. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Nozel. Ms. Franks, Councilor Franks.
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to briefly thank again all the members of the IEB that participated and to thank the parties as well as the Commission for their time.
Thank you. Unless there are any further matters that the parties or my fellow commissioners would like to address, we will now conclude this portion of the proceeding. Does anyone have anything further? Seeing none, the Commission will now deliberate about this matter in private. Commissioners, we will have to end this virtual meeting and enter into a virtual room for private deliberations. We are adjourned. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you, Mr. Adelman.